Alright guys, sorry it's been a little while. Things have been happening, kind of keeping me down, so I haven't been posting like I should. This is Bill the Apostle, once again out with my good buddy Montgomery Morris.
Hey.
Shaman, entrepreneur, and a little bit of everything. Explorer, definitely explorer. Today we decided just to get out and just kind of hang out together. And our original plan was to go to Blumenhof Winery in Dutzell, Missouri and watch a musical show. Well, on our way, Mont said something about wanting to see an old winery that he hadn't been to in a long time there in Augusta called Holy Grail. Well, I knew Holy Grail Winery, but the Holy Grail Winery I knew wasn't in Augusta. Come to find out, they started there, but then they moved to where I knew that they moved to, which was Holstein, Missouri. I'd been here several times, you know, and they just keep getting better and better as it goes along. Well, as we're talking a little bit, and I'm talking about Holstein, he said, wait a second, that's out off of, Highway N and 47, right? It's like, yeah, that's Holstein. He said, I think I've been there before. It's like, what do you mean, Mutt? He said, I think that's where I went and did security for the 4th of July event a couple years back. Well, come to find out, it was. We decided to bypass Blumenhof completely to go check it out to make sure. And he had never been, he'd never tasted the wines or anything. He just went there for security if it was the right place. Come to find out, it was. So we come there and we're sitting here. This is how quests work, and this is how sometimes turn.
Yeah, there.
Yep, just follow in on around. We're following in on down to 94 because we're going to take 94 out to Lost Creek. But anyway, we get there and we get to talking to the owner, and the owner said, well, Mon asked how things were going with the neighbor because he had a really shitty neighbor. We'd been talking about it on the way there, that they had tons of problems with the neighbor. That's why they had security. And the guy said, funny you should say. You're going to take 94, yeah. He said, funny you should say. We actually have a court date coming up on Wednesday next week about the very situation. They've been having problems with this neighbor for several years, and it seems like it's just not getting anything done in county. So they finally had to lawyer up and get court dates to take this guy to court. Things like firing firearms and several other little things. Disturbing the peace, causing all sorts of problems, just causing tons of problems for this little winery here in Holstein. So Mom was like, well, I remember what was going on when I was there. So the gentleman, was like, wow, cool. And they got to talking, and Mom was able to write him a statement about the time that he was there.
And give him my report.
And he's going to try to find and give him his report from the time that he had filed and turned in already, which should hope making things a little bit easier.
So we protected a winery.
Yeah, so basically we're helping to protect a small family winery, which has incredible wines, by the way. If you haven't been there, check them out.
Oh yeah,
they have an absolutely incredible wine. They've got their own signature blends. They've got a blush.
The blend is incredible and personally made by the owner, Lonnie.
Exactly.
You definitely need to check that out. If you're a whiskey drinker and you understand the true blends of whiskey, you should get out and try the Signature 7 is what he calls it. It's very limited. It's a numbered bottle.
216 bottles.
216 right now as it stands, all he has in this batch. But it is a truly blended of 7 different great wines. And I'm telling you, it's like getting a good blended whiskey or bourbon. You can tell every single note in it. It is wonderful. It is a cherishable situation. And you know what? It'd be good with a good pipe or cigar. You know what? Try it.
Not only do they have that great signature, which is a dry, and I'm not a very big dry fan, but I would buy that any time of the day. It's wonderful. They had a blush that was so crisp and sweet and refreshing that's what we bought and set out on a nice sunny day in the heat, and it had that blush and was refreshing. They've got a chocolate port, which has a chocolate caramel port that is just phenomenal.
And they'll have a cherry one this spring.
Yeah, they will have a cherry one this spring. Their wines are very good, guys. If you're a wine connoisseur, I suggest you go out and try them. And this is just kind of the funny things that can happen when you're out questing. This wasn't our plan. We kind of got sidetracked, but it ended up being a positive day.